just run through a few things, man, and I'm going to just react to it as I see it. I didn't prepare for the show, but it doesn't matter because it's the passion that counts. I don't know who this man is, but we're going to go ahead and just go through it a little bit. Okay, so we have Mr. Busby. He says, "My G, ... I shit you not. Last night, the DJ spun Nokia. Nokia is the record off the new Drake and Party Next Door album. Some sexy songs for you, $$ for you, right? Nokia probably gonna be the song of the year, bro. Nokia probably gonna be, that album's gonna be the album of the year. This is probably one of the best Drake albums I've heard in a long time, bro. My G, I shit you not. Last night, the DJ spun Nokia. And I seen with my own eyes a group of women stop dancing and give each other the whatever this emoji is right here and left the dance floor. He said they left the dance floor. You know when they came back? When Not Like Us came on. Aubrey lost the women. All right, guys, you guys ready to do some content? I want you guys to take a good long look at the beloved that's saying the shit. Sorry, bro. I got to use you as an example, but hold on, I'm gonna leave him there for a second just so that we get a full idea. I'm gonna keep bringing this up. I need to find a freaking clip, but this is a guy who made a really good point about the kind of older guys that don't give it up for Drake. And honestly, this has always been a thing. I mean, this has always been a thing for anyone that's popular in the genre, especially when it's purist, right? But people don't even realize that their takes, a lot of the harsh takes you have are based off of the snobby purist, you know what I'm saying, from back in the day where because you had certain people who would go like seek out the most obscure artists and they took pride in listening to people that no one else is listening to, which to a certain degree, I get that. I'm not mad at that, right? But you had those kind of people, and you had the kind of people who maybe did music blogs. They were a music critic, you know what I mean? But that's their whole identity, you know what I mean? But their job is not necessarily to just enjoy the music and just let the chips fall where they may, right? But what's happened is we now have a whole society of critics. What's up, baby?
Thomas.
Say it again.
Thomas.
Who? Thomas who?
Thomas Train Toy.
What's the Thomas the Train Toy? Okay. All right, man. Real quick, guys. Hold on, yeah. All right, T, you got it. Go ahead, T. You know I spell it. What's the point of doing this if you know how to spell, Levi? He's starting to spell with my finger. I don't know what this is about. You want to see the toy? T. Y. Okay. That's it? Okay. I'm doing the show. I'm trying to give you a good life. Okay? All right. So don't come back. I'm about to lock the door. Okay? No, I hope you're not sitting down. Go in your room or the living room. Living room. Go living room. Anyway. So I saw a video some time back where this dude was saying that the kind of dudes, this is just in general, who hate on Drake or act like they don't know or basically talk about Drake as if Drake is not extremely talented. All right. And I always say, like, nah, we've seen this phenomenon before. People hate on Jay like crazy. They used to be it was a hip hop purist. It was a hip hop purist or what's the word? Not anti-cultural. How can I say? Like a real contrarian thing to do. You know what I'm saying? To stand up and say, no, I think Jay-Z is whack. You know what I mean? It's like, Jay-Z, you know what whack means. Whack means that there's nothing here. This is ass. This is terrible. You know what I'm saying? You know what whack means. Whack means this person cannot rap, or this is not good at all. You know what I mean? But the thing about when we do that now, more than ever, or not even that, in this situation right here, you're really seeing people abuse what's in the subjective. Because how can you argue someone's opinion? Because what can happen is the other person, you're having two different conversations. One person is trying to actually have a logical conversation and actually talk about something. while the other person is more so concerned with trying to get you to respond in an emotional way. Because for the most part, before Kendrick opened his mouth, I had people telling me that, oh my God, it's over for Drake. When Kendrick responds, I'm like, so from the gate, you're admitting that you have a bias and you're not really listening. Because it wasn't until the end of this shit, or this reason I realized y'all didn't listen to Family Matters. Like, you wasn't really listening. Because there's no way that if you really were listening, let me tell you something. And another way you know when people are not really listening is when something is good and they give it no credit. They act as if it just, like, oh, yeah, well, whatever, nigga. That, like I told you, taking away credit or discrediting people is always an attack. Nothing more, nothing less. They're trying to stop you from having your opinion or whatever you're doing. And in this situation right here, for the most part, people who were pro Kendrick, what they wanted to do was they weren't having a real conversation. They're just saying, nah, man, he can't mess with Kendrick. That was their argument. Was just nah. And then I realized, you know what? What's the point of me really trying to convince you? I'm just going to argue. I'm going to use the same approach you're using, and it kills me every time. That GNX album is ass. Kendrick is ass because y'all let him do whatever he want to do. You think that he don't know that it don't matter what he do? He not stupid. Listen, he conditioned you to take whatever product he put out there a long time ago. And he did it with a Good Kid, Mad City. I mean, I like it. For what Kendrick does, that's probably one of the best versions of it in terms of a whole project. But once we get to the next project, there are less songs in there that you will actually ever play. Mr. Morale, most of the album is not listenable. It's not something that you can't play. I mean, I remember trying to play it in the car, and I really was trying. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I've never heard the entire album. I couldn't get through the whole thing. But this dude right here, I'm not saying that all of the K-Dot fans look like this, right? But he has that look. This is the kind of guy who's going to argue you down, because this is the kind of guy. He don't like Drake because he knows that he's so far from being what men want to be and the kind of man that women want to be with. When you get that far from that, everybody deal with it different. You feel me? But let me tell you something, like, yo, the phase I'm at in my life, yo, I'm trying to be more successful than I ever been. I'm getting ready to be richer than I ever been, be more successful than I ever been. And like, yo, when I hear that new Drake and Party Next Door joint, bro, I feel good. I feel real good. Like, but just in general, like, I relate more. I understand because, again, Drake raps from a winner's perspective and from the things that winners go through. If you're not winning, of course you don't want to hear that shit. Like with Hove. Niggas didn't like Hove also because Hove was giving you an image that was so far from what you thought was possible that made you uncomfortable. Rather than saying, yo, that's crazy. Like, yo, he from the hood. And he took his gift and what he had and made that out of it. But anyway, we got that right there. So let's go to the next John, man. So let's actually play the actual footage of what it actually looks like. So that John right there said that when they played Nokia, I'm saying that girls left the dance floor. You know what I'm saying, and they said, "Oh my God, this is such a terrible song that we're all no." So I can't play it on here and whatnot. Basically, clips like this have been going viral for a long time since that record came out. So this is Lotto and some baddies dancing in the club to Nokia. I had one more, man. But basically, like, yo, like you see these videos of people dancing to this song. Yo, that album got a lot of bangers on it, man. But I want to play. Now I haven't heard this yet, and I want to play this real quick. I don't know what this is about. I think. Tory Lanez is calling for bread.
What Drake is doing, no matter how you want to put it, he's really doing this for the rest of us artists. Because the reality of it is if one man finally comes out and says, yo, fuck this, and the rest of us do it, a revolution starts. So it's either you look at it as he's going to start a revolution, or you look at it as, it's just Drake doing some shit. He's just trying to do some shit, and you feel like he's doing this because he lost the battle. But being a man that knows him and speaks to him on a day-to-day basis, I shouldn't say day-to-day, I don't talk to him every day, but a man that speaks to him regularly, it's like, that nigga is not no dumb nigga, bro. He's a very smart individual. He's like a war general. It's a nigga that's very patient. And sometimes when he makes certain moves, it's not going to make sense at that moment. But the grand scheme of what he's doing is so smart that when it comes into full fruition, that's when you're going to be like, oh, I get it now.
I think I played that in the last video. I forget. Somebody was saying that when Drake said, I'm ready for round 2, he wasn't talking about Kendrick at all. For him, this was probably never about Kendrick. Drake probably already knew that UMG had plans of using Kendrick to mess with his numbers and mess with his deal. I think on the Joe Budden podcast, they were talking about, well, this whole thing could be all about Drake getting out of his deal and going independent and getting all his money and also getting his catalog from UMG. They said this man's catalog is worth all. I don't know how this is possible. I keep saying I don't know how. They said it's worth more than all the music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s and 2000s. It's worth more than all of that. Okay, this is how much this man's catalog is worth. All right, like this nigga has the most. I think he might have been one of the first artists to get 1 billion streams. 1 billion. And continuing to have hundreds of millions of streams on a regular basis. You know what I mean? And you got people online really talking about, is he done? Is it over? I'm like, yo, only black people think like this. It's just been disgusting. But going back to what Tory was saying, what he's speaking to is how the world actually works. Drake lives in the real world. Black people don't live in the real world. The first comment he made is one of the main arguments you heard spread across the internet. People who want to be cool, who are not black, listen to black people and say, all right, well, that's their thing, it's their culture. And if that's what they're saying, then that must be what it is. That's how a lot of people, I think, who try to respect black culture, see black culture. So if they see these people who sound so, they feel so strongly about this thing, right? What they've done for the most part is buy into our colorism, where we buy into this idea that you are a more authentic, you are a better person. A more authentic person, you're more honest, you're more trustworthy, the darker you are. When in actuality, keep it a stack, the millions of people that y'all have all met, the people that you've had the most conversational energy from, or confrontations with, falling outs with, a lot of times be darker skinned people. It's almost like the darker they are, the more that you can kind of expect that this person's gonna be rude. They're not gonna be nice. They're unforgiving. They're shiesty. They're mean and have this terrible. You know what I'm saying, like you can expect a bad experience from them. You know what I mean? And it's something that people just kind of buy into, especially with rapping. People don't like for the light skinned guy to be the guy. They want the nigga that look the most like. He gangbang. You know what I'm saying? Like you really can't win against the guy who has that kind of look. Or the guy who has the look like he's in the street, especially for hip hop. And I had to understand, like, okay, I'm not, and I'm cool with. I'm not your champion. I'm not battle rap champion. I'm not hip hop champion. I'm just me. I like to rap, and I'm gonna do my push-ups whether you watching me or not. You understand? But going back to the reality that black folks live in and the rest of the world. He said Drake is really patient, meaning that black people we like fantasies too, and a lot of our fantasies is someone who's got